Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is Defub21 and I have some breaking news for you. There has been a leak on NeoGAF, which has been reported by Eurogamer, which to my mind gives it greater legitimacy, of a PlayStation 4 Slim. This is a new version of the PlayStation 4. We can assume it's got the same gubbins, the same silicon chips on the inside as the standard PlayStation 4, but they've probably been manufactured in a more advanced fabrication process, so they're smaller, they're cheaper to make, more energy efficient, produce less heat. And Sony is using them to build, as I've said, a PlayStation 4 Slim. This will be a smaller, more compact version of the PlayStation 4, effectively the PlayStation 4 counterpart to the Xbox One S, although the shrinkage in size probably won't be as dramatic because the PS4 was already a good bit smaller than the original Xbox One. And apparently, from what Eurogamer is reporting, it was expected to be announced, or Sony was planning on announcing this device at its PlayStation event on September the 7th, along with their announcement, or their, going into more detail about the PlayStation Neo/4K. But apparently this information is kind of leaked early. Also, apparently this will be launching literally in the same time frame, literally within probably a matter of days, maybe a week at most, of the press conference. So if you want to go out and buy one of these, it will be available come September. There is, however, one critical warning, which is apparently the Eurogamer is reporting that the optical output has been removed. So if you have a surround sound system, or even a 2.1 stereo sound system that uses optical out, unlike the standard PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 4 Slim won't support it. This is, to my guess, is a combination of both a cost-saving procedure / action, and maybe also an attempt to, by getting rid of parts inside the system, make it smaller, simpler, and cheaper to make. But again, I've already mentioned the cost part. So take it where you look at it. I mean, looking at the pictures, it doesn't look particularly fancy compared to the standard PlayStation 4. It looks cheaper looking in terms of build quality, as has been commented on as well. That may, however, bode quite well. I mean, compared to the Xbox One S, it looks cheaper looking. The plastic it appears to be made out appears to be kind of more basic, cheaper looking plastic, and so on. And there is an image which I'll put up as part of them, where it shows a direct size comparison between it and the standard PlayStation 4. So there is some drop off in size, and it does actually appear to be what's the word for it? Shorter than when you lay it down on its base, on its normal, the way it's supposed to, not on its side. In other words, just lie it straight down flat. It does appear to be shorter than the original PlayStation 4. But in terms of looking cheaper and losing the optical out functionality, apparently as well, they're also saying, if I look down here at the Eurogamer, what Eurogamer is reporting, it doesn't appear to have either HDR support, so doesn't support high dynamic range color the way the Xbox One S does, and it doesn't apparently have a higher spec Blu-ray drive to allow for 4K video, or at least that's what's been reported. That would imply that this system is really geared for one thing above all else, which is driving down the cost of the base PlayStation 4, which could bode very, very well for someone who wants a PlayStation 4 but is on a budget, and could also bode very, very well for someone who wants, like myself, who wants to buy a PlayStation 4K. And the reason for that is this: if they've gone intentionally, if this is real, and I think with Eurogamer reporting it, that's got a significant chunk of legitimacy. If it's real, then Sony may be aiming to drive down the cost of the system, the original PlayStation 4, very, very dramatically, down to around $199, which would make the system very, very cheap, and would make it, would get down to the $199 price point in a fraction of the time, particularly that it took the PlayStation 3 to get there. And equally, if not more importantly, it bodes very, very well for the PlayStation 4K, because it could mean that Sony is intending on launching the PlayStation 4K at, say, $299 or maybe 350, which would make it a much more appetizing proposition, both for kind of hardcore gamers and early adopters who've already got PlayStation 4, standard PlayStation 4, and would also again help drive sales of people who want to buy a PlayStation 4 who can afford $299 and may, like myself, are just waiting on the fence to find out more information about the PlayStation 4K. It could also be, to a degree, I mean, I would imagine this has been in train for quite some time, but it could also be, to a degree, a kind of reaction/response to the Xbox Scorpio, which is the souped-up Xbox One we're getting late next year with its 5 teraflops of computational capacity, which will give it huge graphics rendering capabilities, certainly massive compared to the original Xbox One. And maybe they're thinking, well, we can't build a PlayStation 4K that's a match for the Xbox One, but we could put out a PlayStation 4 Slim for very, very cheap at $199 and then sell the PlayStation 4K at cost at $299 or maybe $350, giving us a huge cost advantage and allowing us to get as many of them into the market in the 12 months before the Xbox One Scorpio turns up and potentially with all its teraflops ruins our fun. That could well be the case. I mean, certainly, the PlayStation 4 was cheaper than the Xbox One at launch, but then again, it had the superior hardware from a gaming standpoint, so that didn't really, certainly for your core gamer, didn't really matter that much. Again, I bought my Xbox One principally out of brand loyalty. And boy, oh boy, do I regret it. But anyway, this is certainly makes things much more interesting. I assume we might find out more from more leaks that may or may not happen over the next couple of weeks. But we're, at the time of recording, we are 2.5 weeks away from the September 7th PlayStation event that Sony is holding. So even if there are no more leaks, we're certainly going to find out a lot more in the not too distant future. But this is yes, the plot thickens, and certainly if it is a legit and it's not a fake, and it looks kind of, with the reduced functionality, no inclusion of 4K video support, and the fact that the plastic does look a bit on the cheaper side, says to me they're going for a budget price on this, which means they could be intending to sell the PlayStation 4K. They couldn't charge less than £100 more for the PlayStation 4K over the standard PlayStation. So my guess is this might be an indicator of either a $299 or a $350 PlayStation 4K launch price. But we'll that's an optimistic outlook, and we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, this is Defub21. Let me know what you think of this leak in the comments. Please like this video, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Very interesting indeed.